Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spooky 7. I'm Spooky, and welcome to the top 7 most haunted places in the world. Up at number 7, we've got the Castle of Good Hope in South Africa. Built in the 17th century by the Dutch East India Company, the Castle of Good Hope is South Africa's oldest building. We're going to jump right into the ghosts. The first ghost was spotted in 1915 when the apparition of a tall gentleman was seen jumping off one of the side of the castle walls and then walking between the bastions Leerdam and Orange. Forgive me if my pronunciation's wrong. Anybody who knows me knows that my pronunciations are not brilliant. Another famous ghost, the Lady in Grey, was often seen running through the castle holding her face and crying hysterically, but she has not been seen since a woman's body was found during excavations. Other unexplained events include the bell in the bell tower ringing of its own accord, and the ghost of a black dog that pounces on unsuspecting visitors, then simply vanishes into thin air. Right now, it's one of the world's best preserved 17th century buildings. The castle is now a popular tourist attraction with 3 prestigious museums, a memorial, and there is an opportunity to learn more of the hidden history surrounding the castle on a guided tour. You can also eat in the restaurant in the front courtyard and watch the key ceremony and cannon firing. Up at number 6, we have the Hellfire Club in Ireland. The Hellfire Club was a hunting lodge, built in 1925 for William Connolly, an Irish parliamentary speaker. The stones of the buildings are from ancient passage tombs said to have angered the devil, which first associated the site with the supernatural. The lodge reportedly became a gathering place for a small group of Dublin elites who met for debauchery and devil worship. Its ruins sit atop the summit of Montepilor Hill in the foothills of Dublin Mountains. Tales of animal sacrifice, black masses, cloven-hoofed men, and murder are linked to the structure. The most popular tale tells of a visit by a satanic creature in the form of a man who was only discovered when one of the players dropped a card and upon picking it up noticed the guest had cloven feet. On his discovery, the creature disappeared into a ball of flames. There are stories about a big black cat, the size of a dog, who took on a priest and haunts the lodge. The most regular ghostly visitor is a young lady, believed to have been placed in a barrel, set on fire, and rolled down the hill for fun. Not too much fun for her, I should imagine. Currently, the Hellfire Club is a popular stopping point on a walking trail through the Dublin Hills. Ghost tours of the site are also available, if you dare, with extra tours running for the week of Halloween. Number 5. The Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, Canada. Styled after a Scottish baronial castle, the Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, Canada is one of Canada's great railway hotels and reportedly one of the most haunted buildings in the country. There's a bride who fell down the staircase, breaking her neck after panicking when her dress caught fire. She is often seen in the ballroom dancing, with the flames coming from the back of her dress. A family were murdered in room 873. The door to this room has since been bricked up, but the family can still be seen in the hallway outside the room. A former bellman, Sam Macaulay, who served at the hotel during the 60s and 70s, still likes to help guests up to their rooms dressed in his 60s uniform. If you try to tip him or make conversation, he disappears. Now part of the Fairmont chain of luxury hotels, the Banff Springs, also known as the Castle in the Rockies, still remains a landmark in the town of Banff, Alberta, and remains a popular year-round resort. Up at number 4, we have one that's definitely going to test my pronunciation skills. It's Poveglia Island in Italy. In the Venice Lagoon between Venice and Lido, this small island was a place where mainlanders fled to seek refuge from the invaders. In the 14th century, Venetians infected by the bubonic plague were sent here to die, and when they died, they were burned in giant pyres. The site was also used as a mental asylum during the 1800s, where patients were experimented on and tortured. Now, Ask a local and they'll tell you that the island is full of ghosts and cursed with unhealthy spirits. Voices and screams are often heard, and visitors are reported seeing dark, fleeting shadows. Many visitors say that they begin to feel an oppressive, evil feeling as soon as they step onto the island. Despite nearly being auctioned off to an entrepreneur, the island remains totally abandoned and off bounds to most visitors. Even if you were allowed to go to the island, you'd be hard to find someone willing to take you, as many locals will not step foot on Prevalia for fear of being cursed, and fishermen refuse to fish in the area, worried they'll drag up human remains. Here at number 3, we have Chateau de Brissac in France. Dubbed as the giant of the Loire Valley, this is the highest castle in France, boasting 7 floors, 204 rooms, numerous portrait galleries, and a private opera house which seats 200 people. It was a fortress built by the Count of Anjou in the 11th century, and King Louis XIII dropped by in 1620. The most active ghost is La Dame Verte, the Green Lady, who was apparently the illegitimate child of King Charles VII and was later murdered by her husband in the chateau in the 15th century after he caught her having an affair. She is often seen in the tower room in the chapel, wearing her green dress, with gaping holes where her eyes and nose should be. When not startling the guests by her appearance, she can be heard moaning around the castle. The chateau is a popular hotel that hosts special events such as a Christmas market and tastings of the well-regarded wines produced from its own surrounding vineyards. Guests who are brave enough to stay overnight enjoy rooms lavishly decorated with period furniture. At number 2, we have Monte Cristo Homestead in New South Wales, Australia. A late Victorian mansion with intricate cast-iron latticework built by wealthy landowner Christopher William Crawley in 1876. Reputedly, Australia's most haunted house. Now, the ghosts here especially, you can take your pick. There's a young child who was dropped down the stairs, the maid who fell from the balcony, or the stable boy who burned to death. The most active, however, is the ghost of the son of the caretaker, who was found killed up next to the dead body of his mother and chained up for 40 years. Currently, the house operates as a bed and breakfast, offering dinner followed by a ghost tour where you can learn all about its gruesome past. Those who dare spend the night in the haunted homestead are more than welcome. And finally, at number 1, we have Dunster Castle in Somerset, the United Kingdom. Dunster Castle is now a Grade 1 listed building, owned by the National Trust, who bought it in 1976. The medieval castle walls were mostly destroyed following the siege of Dunster Castle at the end of the English Civil War. It's positioned on a steep 200-foot high hill, referred to as Tor. Now we come to the more interesting. There are lots and lots of happenings here at Dunster Castle. Peculiar sensations, inexplicable events, ghostly figures. Others are more sinister, and it seems that they can only sometimes be perceptible to dogs. The stable block, which is now the gift shop, houses a man dressed in green, according to staff members, that disappears without a trace. A mysterious green light bobs across the shop as well. Voices are heard in the blue kitchen, and there are reports of volunteers being deeply shaken when a disembodied naked human foot appeared in front of him. Men's voices and footsteps heard late into the night in areas of the castle that are known to be empty. Most unusual concerns the remains of a 7-foot-tall prisoner that was found manacled by the wrists and ankles, along with several other skeletons in a deep dungeon beneath the gatehouse. Even in daylight, the place where the skeletons were found is dark and gloomy. Dogs are particularly troubled by some sinister presence here, and refused to climb up the steps near to where the bodies were found. King Charles' bedroom, named from when King Charles II slept here in 1645, It's said to be the most haunted room in the castle. The atmosphere is very unpleasant, even to the point of people refusing to cross the threshold into the room. Those affected claim to have felt a malevolence or uneasiness. The Grey Lady walks the rooms, including the library, billiard room, and connecting corridors, but most often on a flight of oak stairs. It's said that the wife of the first administrator often complained that she felt a sense of foreboding and that something evil was haunting the stairs. Now it's a tourist attraction, with little remaining of the castle except the great gatehouse and the remains of several towers. Everything else has been altered and updated to around the 17th century. Several pieces of art and tapestries from the 13th century are still housed there. Now I have to say a very big thank you for watching. I'm Spooky. Did any of these particularly freak you out? Personally, I was more interested in Dunster Castle. You know, I'm from the UK myself. I'm very interested in everything around here. I do actually feel myself being drawn more to it, so we may be doing another video on this in the future. But do let me know down in the comments below which ones you particularly enjoyed, and if you want to know more about them. I'm more than happy to do the videos as you wish. But yes, thank you very much for watching. My Twitter is on screen now, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you for sticking with me. See you later, guys. Bye.